Thank you, Jason. So I'm Dan Rohovit. I'm the DeVaughan Fellow in Nonprofit Education. I'm a music ed major, and I did my internship at the Barbershop Harmony Society in Nashville, Tennessee. So this is the Barbershop Harmony Society. It was established in 1938. It moved to Nashville in 2007 after being in Kenosha, Wisconsin. This building is actually like right on Honky Tonk Row for those who know Nashville, which is right downtown. So every day we would take walks and just walk through Nashville, and it would be full of cigarette smoke and music. So it was great. Barbershop is men singing 4-part harmony with the majority of the chords being dominant 7th chords, and the progression is moving in the circle of fifths. Oh, and I did something. What did I do? There it goes. All right, so my supervisors were Dusty Schleier, the Director of Meetings and Conventions, and Donnie Rose, the Dean of Harmony University. And I hope he sees this because he despises that title. Dusty was my main supervisor on the Pittsburgh International Convention. The Pittsburgh International Convention was held the week of the 4th of July, and it was where all the choruses who qualify for international and the quartets who qualify for international, they come to the contest, they perform for a chance at medaling and getting the coveted title of the International Chorus Champion or the International Quartet Champion. So my role during that week was to be the site contact for the convention center, where we offered about 100 classes for Harmony University Pittsburgh. We also held board meetings and district president meetings. So at the HU Pittsburgh site, we had classes offered on music theory, barbershop history, leading a chorus or chorus rehearsal, and also people telling their stories about their rise to fame as a chorus champion or a quartet champion. So my job was to make sure that people who were running the classes had everything they needed. They had the whiteboard they needed, they had the projector they needed. If their sound system went out halfway through their class, I was the guy to go in and fix it, as well as making sure that we clearly labeled where everything was going. For the board meetings, I was the guy to make sure that everyone had their water and that they had the proper Wi-Fi or whatever other resources they need. At that convention, also, I was part of the Music City Chorus, which was the 5th place medaling chorus this year, so that was a pretty awesome experience. My next event was Harmony University, and this was held the last week of July. Up to Harmony University, I was the guy to receive all the syllabi from the teachers who were teaching at Harmony University. They would send me their syllabus. I would make sure it was okay and that it would use the proper language for students to be able to understand what they were going to teach, how they were going to teach it, and if the student needed to go to a higher or lower education level. If it was Music Theory 2 and they really realized they needed Music Theory 1, they had that opportunity to switch because we got the syllabus in time. I was also in charge of setting up the room assignments, so I made sure if a classroom needed a whiteboard with staves on it, that I got their whiteboard ready. If they needed a keyboard in their classroom, I got that. If it needed choral risers in the classroom, I made sure that they had everything they needed and the room would be big enough. I also did the dorm room assignment for everyone attending, for all the students. We had about 725 students who showed up and signed up, and they all sent in roommate requests, and I made a lot of people angry by not following those requests. So there was a lot of emails responded in haste to make sure that they got their request met. On site at Harmony University, I was kind of doing the same thing I did at Harmony University Pittsburgh, where I was making sure everyone had the resources they needed, that I was making sure everyone was happy and that rooms were unlocked and that they had the keyboards or whatever they might have needed. The final event I worked on was actually at the end of Harmony University. It was called the Harmony Festival. It was a new event that we added this year where we sent all of the people who came to Harmony University around to Nashville to sing at public locations. We had 725 people going on 12 different bus routes to 22 different locations. I started this out by calling different places in Nashville and saying, hey, we have barbershop singers who want to come sing at your location. And the second I said barbershop, most of them hung up on me. That was a fun experience of handling a no answer and not being afraid to call in, even if it's just throwing your hat in the ring and seeing what happens. Yes, that was I did a lot of logistical planning for that in the bus routes, and that was that was my main project that I had the most input on. So here are some pictures. Up here in the left corner, this is the Voices of California, a chorus that came to Harmony University in Nashville, all the way from California to do a week-long of coaching. They were part of our Harmony Festival, and they went around Nashville and did a bunch of singing. They actually were featured on a news spot by Nashville, which really laid in a big foothold for us for next year when we have our international convention in Nashville. This is the Musical Island Boys, the 2014 International Quartet Champion from New Zealand. And this is at Acme Feed and Seed, which is a bar on the end of Honky Tonk Row. The only location on Honky Tonk Row that let us sing. When they started singing, there was hardly anyone in the bar, but then by the time they were finished singing, it was standing room only. So it was really exciting for the Barbershop Harmony Society. Up here in this corner, or this section here, is the youth, or next generation youth chorus, which is barbershoppers under the age of 26 who get a scholarship to come to Harmony University and sing and learn about not only barbershop but quality choir singing. Here in the left corner is the audience shot after the quartet finals of the International Convention, and we had about 7,000 in attendance, and on stage are the past and present quartet champions of the past 5 or 6 years. Here is Rick Spencer. One of my proudest moments from the summer is Rick Spencer, the assistant director of the Music City Chorus, pinning on my medal, my 5th place medal. So that was probably the highlight of my summer, was getting that. So what did I learn? Professionally, I learned how to be flexible. At the International Convention, I made a few mistakes, and I know that last year at this time, if I had made a mistake, that I would have been really frustrated and dwelled on it for a long time. But at that convention, I made a mistake, and I said, okay, how can I fix it? Let's go. We got to fix it right now, and let's see what we can do. And so just completely abolishing any plan that I might have had and going with whatever was in front of me. I learned some classroom management skills in terms of dealing with how to accurately tell people what you want without making it sound like you're bossing them around, and getting them on your side first and then having them work with you. We worked a lot with that with the people who were, with the teachers who were sending us their syllabus. Professional relationships and networking. Through the week-long Harmony University, I had several people just coming up to me saying, hey, you're doing a great job. If you ever need anything, even after this week, come talk to me. And these are people who were college professors, who were choir professors, who were math professors. They just wanted to offer me some help in some way. So I even since then have reached out to other choral directors to say, hey, I have this problem with my choir. What do you think I should do? What's the best? What do you do? What's the best route? And then we kind of brainstorm a little bit. So was a huge resource that I got added to my disposal. And logistical planning was a big thing. Like I mentioned, I had those 12 bus routes to manage, as well as the dorm requirements of the dorm assignments, and that was a huge logistical nightmare at first, but by the end of it I was really proud of what I had done and knew that I could now take a choir on tour without having to freak out about not having ever done it. Personally, I learned what it meant to be part of a team. There was one night where Donnie Rose and I were on opposite ends of the phone looking at spreadsheets, trying to navigate it all and say, okay, are you looking at this? Are you looking at that? And at that moment, it really just felt like I was a part of a team, and I wasn't just some intern. I was really valuable to that team, and that's why it was a unique experience. The reward of hard work was something I had experienced in small times before, but this summer was the hardest I've ever worked in my life, and it really felt like I had accomplished a lot by the end of the summer. And how to handle negativity. One thing we learned really early on with Harmony University was people would come to us and say, you know, we really like what you're doing, but here's all the stuff you're doing wrong. And so we really handled how to take those negative things and process them without it burdening us and breaking us down. The future impact, I reinforced my career goals. Like I said, I'm a music education major, and when I came out of this, I was just super excited for student teaching. I was super excited to get in front of the choir and have the impact that Donnie Rose and some other of the people that I worked with this summer have that impact on someone else. It gave me practical experience in lesson prep, classroom management, and logistical planning. And I kind of mentioned those examples throughout the presentation. It led me to move beyond my personal anxiety and trust myself to do a good job. There were times where I would be really worried about, well, does Donnie think I'm doing a good job? Does Dusty think I'm doing a good job? And finally, Donnie just told me to stop worrying about it. You're doing fine. Like, it's going to be okay. So by the end of it, I could just do what I thought I was doing, or do what I knew how to do, and feel okay about it. And I did get a small job offer. They offered me a job to come back and do what I did this summer. On a smaller scale, so they want me to come back the week of International and then stay another week and then work at Harmony University again. And it also established friendships to last a lifetime. Donnie Rose is still someone who I kind of look up to and is like a father figure to me, and all my friends in the Music City Chorus. We share a special bond through the medal we received, and as well as the work we put into that chorus. So I would like to thank my donor, Colin DeVaughan, my site supervisors, Donnie Rose and Patty Lavelle, as well as Aaron Perrine, and they were just also supportive throughout the whole process. Thank you.